Hello, my name is Austin Hancock, and this is my presentation on defining your financial goals, how to set dates for those goals, and how to save for them. Now then, what is a financial goal? It's a very good question, but fairly simple to answer. A financial goal is usually something as simple as maybe buying a home, building a college fund, or achieving financial independence from your parents or from credit card debt. These can vary in time and length, but most of the time it is a goal set at some point in the future that you wish to achieve. This can change depending on when or where you are in your life. Now, the next question that we need to ask each other, what types of financial goals are there? The types are usually listed into three. Short-term goals that may take 1 or 2 minutes to write down and are usually fairly simple. Intermediate goals that connect between a short-term goal and the last one, a long-term goal. Long-term goals can be anywhere from a year to 5 years, depending on how you want to structure them. Now then, the first type that we will talk about is the short-term goals. These are the most common ones and the ones you'll deal with the most often. Usually each short-term goal is set for around a year at max. Usually they fall within the 12-month period and involve things such as saving or investing your money in ways that could benefit you financially in the future. Now, this does not mean that it's just those actions, but usually short-term goals are quick and simple and easy to meet. Now then, the next type of goal is the intermediate goals. These goals can bridge the gap between a short-term and a long-term goal. Usually an intermediate goal will be set to increase your net worth, buy furniture, starting a family. These can be all different kinds of ways you can view an intermediate goal. They're usually longer than a year, but less than 5. That is how most are viewed. Most are set far enough in the future that you are not going to meet them immediately, but each of your short-term goals should set you up to meet them. The last type of goal that we are going to talk about would be the long-term goal. Now, a long-term goal are goals that are set most oftenly further than 5 to 30 years. That is a rough estimate. They can be anywhere in between or even longer than that, depending on what your goal is. Some examples would be buying a home, starting or growing a business, or making a retirement fund. Now, of those, most of those goals are fairly far off and are hard to attain. These goals are usually gathered from doing such activities as setting short-term goals to start building funds towards it, intermediate goals to connect between the funds you have built and your long-term goal, then achieving it and setting another goal past it. These are the goals that most people will aim for, taking anywhere from 5 years, as I have said before, up to a lifetime. It just depends on what the goal is and how you want to meet it. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is very much how you are going to set out your goals. How will you keep track of them? How will you list them? Because listing your goal is a lot harder than really most people think. One example is such as this, listing your short-term, intermediate, and long-term goals and ranking them in order of priority, the target date that you wish to meet it, and the estimated amount of money that you would want to have for said goal. Now, most of the time, you will most likely not meet most of the goals, but you will try your hardest to meet the ones that are of the most priority to you. Such as in this image, the people who have listed these goals, tires and brakes for a Honda is a high priority, where replacing a stereo speakers in a car is a fairly low priority. You don't need to do that. when it came to their intermediate goals, they chose starting as family as being one of their high goals, while their lowest priority would be buy new bedroom furniture. Makes sense and makes most of the time well spent. Now then, if you look at the image again, time and date, for the short-term goals, they're listed by month in the same year. Long-term goals can be anywhere from 1 year to 2 years, even up to 5 years is how they have listed it. And for the long-term goals, such as building a college fund for their children, diversifying, increasing investments and such things, those, if you look at the dates, are set much further along. So, since this is pretty much how you would like to set your goals, and this is just one example of how you can list them, there are many others, I say that you will find it most informative on how you can set goals for yourself in the future. And that is all that I have for this topic, and I am happy to have had you listen to me, and I hope to hear from you if there are any questions. Thank you, and have a lovely day.